Welcome back to Behind the Headlines. Let's talk about raw cow's milk, bird flu in dairy herds, and people who consume raw cow's milk. Skylar Rossi with Harvest Public Media joins us from Columbia about the popularity of unpasteurized milk that is raising eyebrows among health experts these days. Welcome, Skylar. Great to have you with us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Alrighty, so what's the market like for raw milk in Missouri?
Yeah, so broadly, demand seems to be pretty strong for raw milk. The producers I spoke to in the Midwest, including in Missouri, say they're seeing customers consistently place new orders. They're seeing returning customers coming back week after week to buy new jars of raw milk. There's also data from market research for Nielsen IQ that shows raw milk sales in retail stores. So in states where that's legal to buy it in grocery stores and other retail stores, those sales have increased in recent months compared to last year. So demand seems to be strong.
hmm So this is farm to consumer. How are dairies you visited, or the main ones you visited, keeping up with demand, and what kind of demand is out there?
Yeah, so in a lot of states, farmers are selling directly to customers. So they're producing the raw milk, they're packaging it, they're also, taking orders and running an on-farm operation or delivering it in some cases. So I visited a farm in the Kansas City area that getting raw milk to people is a big part of its operation. They're making 40 stops per week across the Kansas City and Western Missouri.
Wow.
So it's a big part of their day. I went on one of those routes. It was 8 stops long and several hours. So yeah, it's definitely a big piece of running a raw milk farm.
So talk about the quote unquote health risks from drinking raw milk.
Yeah, so health experts say there are a number of risks with drinking raw milk. When you pasteurize milk, it kills off bacteria like E. coli, salmonella, and listeria. So those bacteria can be present in raw milk. There's actually a recent salmonella outbreak in the state of California connected to raw milk. That was the largest with the product in recent years. So those are some of the long-standing concerns, and now there's new concerns with the emergence of bird flu in dairy cattle earlier this year.
hmm
There have been 4 cases in humans. All of those were dairy workers that were working closely with infected cows, but health officials and food science experts and others are cautioning people about drinking raw milk, sort of in the face of this new virus.
hmm kind of a personal angle here. I did this exact same story years ago on families who sold raw milk at a nearby strip mall in Springfield, and they were very popular. And then after the report aired, the health department showed up the next time they were there, shut them down, and said they'd be prosecuted if they moved somewhere else in the city and kept selling the raw milk. What does Missouri law and other states allow as far as raw milk sales? What's allowed, what's not?
Oh, wow. Yeah. So it's definitely very state by state. Each state sets their own laws and regulations about how you can sell raw milk or even whether you can. In Missouri and a lot of the Midwest, you have to buy milk directly from a producer. When you buy it, you can't resell it. There's also different rules in different states about what products you can sell for human consumption. I believe in Missouri, it's raw milk and raw cream you can sell.
hmm
In other states, you can buy raw milk from a grocery store. In some states, you can't buy it at all. There's also some states where you have to be part of a herd share. So you essentially own stock in a herd and you can get raw milk from that herd. So it really just varies state by state. Also, the interstate sale of raw milk is illegal, so you can't sell raw milk over state lines. And there's a growing number of states that are legalizing it. Last year, Iowa, North Dakota, and Georgia legalized raw milk. And at least in North Dakota and Iowa, both of those states are farm to direct sales.
I want to go back to that bird flu question. Is there any evidence yet that people who drink raw milk from those cows that have bird flu get sick or will get sick?
Yeah. Yeah, so the experts I spoke to said while there's no evidence yet that you can actually contract the virus by drinking raw milk, there is a risk. So bird flu in dairy cattle is really new. The first case was this spring. There have been cases in about 13 states, at least as of today when I checked. But researchers are still working to understand how it spreads and how it acts. What they do know is that it is present in the mammary glands of sick cows, so in their udder, and also in the raw milk of sick cows. They also know that pasteurization has been shown to kill bird flu. So yeah, that's where some of those concerns are coming from, is the unknownness of this virus as researchers are learning more.
So, are the people who are regular customers of these dairies and believe that there are lots of more health benefits to raw milk than anything else, worried about the possibility of illness from bird flu that you cross paths with?
Yeah, I can't speak for every customer, of course, but some of the producers I spoke to did say that people have asked about bird flu, especially with news of it a few months ago, when cases first started to rise, and they've been sharing information. I spoke to a producer in Iowa who said sales dipped slightly for him in May with news of the virus, but they've since recovered, and it seems like this virus hasn't been impacting sales, at least for the producers I spoke to. Also, I think because a lot of customers are buying directly from the person producing it, there is a lot of trust. And that's kind of what a lot of the customers I spoke to said. They've been drinking it for years, they've been buying it from the same producer for years. So they have a lot of trust in that product and their producer. So yeah, people are still buying and drinking raw milk.
We've been talking with Skylar Rossi with Harvest Public Media. You can see Skylar's reports online and on social media, as well as this conversation on KY3.com, the KY3 News app, and also on streaming platforms like Roku, Apple TV Plus, and Fire Stick. Skylar Rossi, great to meet you. I look forward to talking again sometime. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much.